Oh. I've got a new playlist going today. So far it's been like 3 or 4 songs I've never heard before. All right, so what do I want to do today exactly? I tore my hands up. Monday I did a back day. I did pull-ups instead of my arm day, and I ripped the heck out of my hands. Brought out the nail clippers, was trimming off the parts that got torn. All right, so I want to do straight arm pullovers. I want to do skull crushers. Maybe I'll do overhead presses, but I want to save my chest and shoulders for a workout tomorrow. So I'm thinking an hour and a half workout, short and sweet. I'm going to grab oh. Hey there, Steven Solers. How's it going tonight? I have my stretchy jeans on. They're stretchy. So it's been a long day. Started early. Haven't figured out exactly what I want to do today. But there's some exercises that are easy to do without much thought. I just finished taking a nap. Got home, ate a huge meal, let it settle over a nap. Woke up. I've been up for probably like 15 minutes. Went straight to streaming. Decon load. Triceps. The exercise I just did is great for anybody. You're sitting at your chair. Everybody sits in front of the computer too much these days. You can just do chair dips, and you can go until it burns, right? So I'm going to change the camera angle a bit. Hey, how's it going? Just got off a nap. Going to my stream. So you want your triceps, right? When your arms are fully extended in a chair dip, you're getting quite a big tricep contraction. And depending on what your level is, you can change your feet to be more under you to carry your weight, or move them out. And you want to keep it vertical and you want to focus on squeezing your way up with the triceps. And very quickly, you'll get a burn. This actually feels very similar to the cable, like cable tricep extensions, right? It feels very, very similar to that, and you can get the same burn. And I focus on getting here and then squeezing at the top. So getting here and then squeezing with the triceps. Forearms. This is your forearm's best friend. Fat grips. These are the thicker version. Normally, when you're doing any sort of curl, the handle, very thin. Where's the camera? It takes a lot of muscle activation out of the equation. Go straight to your biceps or tricep or wherever you want to hit. But you grab this, you're activating everything in your arm as you squeeze. Otherwise, farmer carries are really good for grip and forearms. A lot of pulling exercises will naturally build your forearms. You can hammer curl, but for myself, like I do pull-ups, I do rows, and a lot of that I'm holding with my hand, and yeah. Once you go really heavy and put a lot of volume, you can cramp your forearms up. I have a specialty item that I made myself, which is this bad boy here. It's bloody hot in here. And this, you don't need a lot of weight to really feel it. Oh, the fat grips? No. Fat grips here, you're never going to use them more than twice a week. Because if you're lifting properly, like if you're doing a lot of compound lifts, your forearms are going to be, you're going to hit your forearms regardless. But the fat grips will target them, and you won't be able to recover if you're using it too much. It'll actually, because like, you don't want to get to a point where you can't use your forearms, because then you can't do anything else with your hands, right? So I've done that before where I had to do ab days because I gave myself a little bit of tendonitis because I was going a little bit too hard. But the fat grips will build this part here. All this, like, this is all meat right here. So it'll build this part of your forearm. They have a purpose. Often it's for certain types of performances. But if you want to learn how to, a lot of fun forearm exercises you can do, you can look up like arm wrestle videos with what's the guy's name? Who's the main ambassador? Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna look this up. What's his name? He's Canadian. Oh yeah, Devin Lorette. He's got a bunch of videos where he hooks up bands and cables, and he'll focus on getting a contraction here, which will work this part of your forearm, and in a way that makes it fun for him. Hey, thanks for the raid. Tanks that. How is everybody doing tonight? This is, I built this myself. At the gym I used to go to, they had one of these things built into the wall, and you could load that thing up on a lot of weight and just go to town. But then they renovated the gym. They put in like 15 to 17 squat racks, but they got rid of this thing. So I had to make it myself. Got a piece of galvanized pipe, drilled a hole through the center. I have rubber to protect the rope from fraying, and then I singed the rope. Got some chain. Bada bing. And you don't need a lot of weight to max out on this. I'll max out on something like 20 pounds. When you hold it arm length away, if you hold the weight at your waist, you can go a lot heavier. But you're taking a lot of things out of the equation. If you start twisting down here, yeah, I got the idea from hockey players. That's an exercise that hockey players often use. But what they'll do is they'll grab their hockey stick and they'll get the rope around the hockey stick. It's like a broken hockey stick, and they'll just do it on that thing. I like the galvanized pipe because it's a little bit thicker. You have to squeeze as you go. Just So thanks that. Are you a fitness streamer? I'll have to check you out after. Oh. Yeah, this is almost as early as I stream sometimes. I've been really caught up with work, as well as I got to start moving out of here. I've got a new place. They're going to send me the contract tomorrow, and then I'll be out of here before the end of the month. Yeah, last I checked myself, I was at 11% body fat. I have the professional calipers, but I'm actually a lot lighter than I've been. I typically train between 200 and 220 pounds, and I'm 190 right now. Back in November, we went to our second lockdown, and I lost a bunch of weight. I just had a hard time staying motivated, and then I lost a lot of muscle, lost a bit of fat, and I'm rather enjoying this weight now. When I started, it was hard because you look in the mirror and you barely recognize yourself anytime you go through some rapid changes. But I've been focusing a lot on. Hey, X in the zone. How's it going? Well, Tanks is good people. Tanks is good people. But no, one thing I've been surprised about is how well the fitness community treats each other, and how small the community actually is sometimes. Where I'll go watch fitness streamers because watching other people just do their thing and better themselves motivates me, and I'll go to somebody and I'll watch them. I'll get pumped up and I'll go and I'll pump out a workout really quick. Well, by all means, I started streaming back in January. I was just looking for ways to keep myself accountable to showing up every day and try to make my home workouts fun again. And I never expected to enjoy it as much as I actually do. Met a lot of good people. Most of my streams end up turning into people asking for advice on one topic or another. Yeah. I'm gonna go pull around a bit. I don't know if you can. All right. Thanks for coming by. Do some flexing. Yeah, I was training to do the splits, and I ended up injuring myself at work about maybe a month and a half ago, and I stopped training. Or actually, I stopped really focusing on doing the. I've stopped stretching as much. I wanted to take the time to heal up and really make sure my body was healthy before I started pushing myself. But I waited a little bit too long, and now I've lost a lot of mobility. But I'm gonna make the commitment to regularly go through my stretching routine. I actually am gonna try doing the splits right now. I just need a pillow. All right. My knees don't like ground, so I'm going to see how much flexibility I lost. But I'm going to start slow, not push myself too hard. So that's better than I thought it would be. What I feel like was stopping me was my hip flexor. So I'm going to do like a little mini one, and then I'm going to push myself for the next attempt. All right. So now that's pretty close. I can't quite read the chat right now. I'll catch up with you guys in less than a minute here. Okay. This hip flexor, my left hip flexor, is a lot looser than my. Yeah, these aren't skinny jeans. They're stretchy jeans. Right there. I got these for dancing. Before the world shut down, I used to do a lot of partner dancing, and I split every pair of jeans I owned doing partner dancing. And my dress pants, my jeans, I split them all. At the time when I first started, I was a lot bigger. My legs, like I had much better legs at the time. And then a couple girls took me out and bought me took me out shopping and I bought a bunch of stretchy jeans. Amazing. Like I'll never go back. But let's see. I'm gonna try to go a little bit hard on this one. This one might not be as deep. Let's grab some support. Yeah, it's my hip flexor that's holding me back right now. Yeah, I remember, and when I'm saying I used to split my pants, I used to split them right from the belt all the way through the crotch, all the way to the other belt. So my pants would just explode both directions. Um, I remember the last. Okay, so I used to go dancing to live blues music every Sunday night, and that was the last place I went out to dance before the world shut down. Um, I did go to a meetup in the park where everybody was doing solo swing dance moves, and that was fun and all. But for me, I missed the partner dancing. I like the lead and follow aspect of it. Um, Actually, a while ago, maybe about 2 months ago, I had I actually did a partner dance on stream, but the like I did it on Twitch, but the comments were all very negative, and so afterwards, my partner wanted to go watch the video after, right? Because I saved the video and she wanted to see how she looked and everything, and um, I started looking at the stream, and it was all just comments like screw her already, and it's like okay, well, so I ended up downloading the video and sending it to her rather than watching with her on the Twitch platform because she doesn't need to see all that. Um, for myself, you can't hurt my feelings, but I wanted that to be like a good memory, like a good night for her, not have her deal with little people. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Pretty much. My pants would pop. Like I remember, I was at a club once, and there was this one girl there that decided that for the night I was hers, and I went out there with a dance group. So we were all partner dancing, and so this one woman wanted me to lead her, so I did. Right, we were dancing for a bit, and then she uh, she goes to get herself a drink, and then when she comes back on the dance floor, she sees me and she's like, "Here, catch me." So she's like this woman, and she's just running, and then she just jumps all four like hands in the air, legs, and she's just flying at me, and I caught her split. Like I caught her and I ripped my pants on the dance floor in the club. The only thing I was holding my pants together was my belt. Like literally, she just jumped at me. I'm like, oh crap, rip. Yeah. Well, you also get a whole variety of people on the platform too. Like I myself, I'm turning 34 in 2 months, and meanwhile, interacting with people on Twitch, like I'm interacting with like some you don't know the people's age, but you know that some people got to be like 12, and then you get a lot of the kids who are going to like the hot tub models, because they can get away with it, and parents just think that Twitch is another just a gaming platform. Oh yeah, when I started party dancing, I was very bad at it. But I had a lot of people. I had a lot of people, women in particular, who were very patient with me. When I started dancing, I learned one move, then I had two moves, and those are the only two moves I did for an entire dance, song after song, hour after hour, night after night. But because I had a lot of people who were very patient with me, I kept improving until I was one of the better dancers in the city, and it's a nice feeling when you know that you are somebody else's favorite. And then there's a couple times like that where you just like um, when I first took my first dance lesson, I did it on a whim. I looked, there's a free lesson and then a dance, and it started in like 2 hours. So I just showed up, took the lesson, I went and I hid in the darkest corner that I could find afterwards. And there was a girl named Amelia who what she would do is she would dance with all the new dancers before she danced with anyone else. And she'd make sure she danced with everybody there throughout the night. And so she grabbed me, dragged me on the dance floor. The rest is history. And I tried to pick up I tried to pick up her playbook, where once I got more experience, I would try to dance with everybody before I danced with somebody twice, and then try to dance with the new dancers first, because they're the ones that are more likely to get insecure and then leave early if you can get them enjoying themselves right off the bat. But then I would dance from 7 p.m. till like 2 a.m. and nonstop without a break. Second I finished dancing with somebody, if I didn't go grab somebody else to dance, somebody else would grab me, and I never say no. Yeah, well, for me, it was less they wanted to dance with me because of how I looked, as opposed to how I made them feel. Where like I could make like I'll get the part of my hands. I can make them do anything that goes through my imagination. Like as long as we have connection, as long as I can feed off the connection, from then it's like sometimes you're in more playful mood, sometimes you're more sensual, sometimes it's just like jazz hands all the time. You're both laughing, and you don't care if you're making a fool of yourself. I remember doing, in particular, the ladies who were in their like 60s or older. They would very much dote on me, and I remember taking lessons. And some of the activities you do in dance classes is like the mirror game. Like you have two people in front of each other, and you try to mime each other without looking, right? So if you do something, like then you try to copy them and try to. If you're here, and you move like that, they're not going to be able to follow you. So you're sort of transition and sort of taking it and playing with the space that's available. And I remember being this like 65-year-old woman in front of me, and like I was going over the top, doing anything, and she was right there, just giving her heart out, letting me take her wherever I wanted, and we were like big little monkeys, and it was great. I'm Canadian, yes. Yeah, when you're party dancing, it's good manners to bring a second shirt. Some of the dances, quite a lot of the dances are chest to chest, right? So you have your partner right on your chest and you're leading with your body, and there's contact throughout this entire area and depending on the height difference, um, and like like halfway through the night, you can pretty much drench your shirt sometimes, and you don't want your partners to go through that. So very discreetly, halfway through the night, skip out, grab a different shirt, come back. I'm right in the middle of Canada, good old Manitoba. We're in the middle of our third lockdown right now. It's got me a little bit bummed out, but I'm still showing up. And then once I show up, everything else falls into place. That's just half the battle, right? It's too easy to just sit, like lay on the couch, watch a movie, feel sorry for the world. Sometimes that doesn't really work, right? Because you have a tank top and you have a shirt on top, they're both gonna get soaked. And more often, what would happen is I'd have like a tank top underneath, and then I'd have like a dress shirt on top or a sweater. Because for me, my rule was if I didn't work out first, then I didn't gotta go party and go dance. So my typical night would be I would work out from 5 to 6 p.m., go home, shower, get cleaned up, go to a partner lesson from like 7 or 7:30 until 8:39, then go dance from like 9 till like 1 o'clock in the morning, or whatever the dance was on until. And yeah, it's just Mitch. I'm doing good. It's I'm here. I'm happy. Monday I had a really good workout. I tore my hands apart a little bit. I was doing weighted pull-up drop sets. I don't think I went that heavy. I think I only had 100 pounds on my waist. So I was doing 100 pounds, and then I dropped to 50 pounds, and then I dropped to just my body weight. And I was also doing one-arm pull-ups, and I did some pretty good one-arm pull-ups, I think. I think I did like 4 or 5 each arm, maybe. I've never heard these songs before. I'm playing a new playlist. But I finally got one that's got some beat to it. That's my calluses. When I was partner dancing, I would file down my calluses and moisturize my hands because most women don't want to catch on that stuff, right? There was one woman that I was dancing with. I just came back from the gym, beat my hands up. I forgot to moisturize and all that stuff. But I went to the dance and she caught my calluses and she told me my calluses were sexy. And I was like, oh, really? Well, that's a first. The woman was a personal trainer. She graduated with her degree and she liked my calluses. So, meanwhile, a lot of women will talk about like there's one guy who's in the dancing scene who he works with his hands all the time and his hands are very rough. And then I know some women who dread dancing with him but are too polite to say anything just because of how rough and they don't like touching his hands. I try to do pull-ups at least once a week. I'm getting a pull-up rack tomorrow, hopefully, and then I'll be able to do muscle-ups at home. Right now, my pull-up rack is my pull-up bar attaches to the door, and I can't get above it. Let's go for a walk. I'll unplug power, unplug this. I feel like doing some pull-ups here. Actually, rather one-arm pull-ups. All right, so that's the door I use. All right, I'll do some one-arm pull-ups for you guys. Well, see if you can. All right, I did one set, and they're getting a little bit big. They're actually popping out a bit. They actually get pushed up as it's just holding with one hand. When you're 190 pounds, it's hard to grip with one hand. It actually hurts your hand. Whereas like if you're 150 pounds, just holding with one hand, it's not near is actually hard on the body. All right, one arm pull-ups. Here, 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 here. How much do I weigh? £188.9. One arm pull-ups. There. One arm pull-ups and then a set of 25. All right. Pull-ups are my bread and butter sometimes. I used to, I gotta plug my computer back in. For probably a year, I did 100 pull-ups every day as a warm-up. One-arm push-ups aren't as difficult. One-arm push-ups, it's mostly getting the balance, getting over top of spreading your legs so you have a base to work off of and not falling over. Oh. Yeah, if you can't pull up your own weight yet, one really good way to get a lot stronger really quickly is you can still do it on a pull-up bar, but jump up and let yourself down slowly. Focus on the negatives. Jump up, let yourself down. Jump up, let yourself down. And then the slower you can do it, and you'll get a lot stronger that way. Whereas like pull-ups, like I like pull-ups because once you're a weight that you can do pull-ups, every week you're going to get stronger and better at them. I want some music with some more pump here. I'm going to switch it up. Oh, I don't have my mouse plugged in anymore. Let's go. Boom. Yeah, I like owning my own stuff, but I've got 500 pounds in weights at home. But like during the pandemic, I could only get the standard weights. You could not buy Olympic weights if you wanted to, and the ones I got were still expensive as heck. I'm looking like $3.5 a pound. Sometimes I have an imaginary partner I dance with. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I got vaccinated this last Friday. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be like 5 months until I get my second shot. I got the Pfizer. It wasn't so bad. I had a little bit of a headache. I had some symptoms that I never heard anyone else have, but I wasn't worried. All right, so I need to have a plan right now. I sort of have just been having fun, but without a plan. And there's a couple things I want to do. So maybe I'm going to use my fat grips, then I'm going to do skull crushers, then I'm going to do lat pullovers, where I'm going to lay on my back and I'm going to pick the weight and bring it up. So 3 exercises left I want to do. And so pinch myself. Get my fat grips. I was playing with the other one earlier, showing you guys, and I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's right here. A plastic garden bench from Home Depot. That's funny enough. That's probably less sketchy than some of the stuff I got. I have my bench press here, but once I start putting on the weights, the thing will just tip over one way, tip over the other way. Or if I use it for leg quad extensions or hamstrings, the thing will flip over long ways. And then what's worse is it's got the rack coming up, but the handles are right where my arms want to go when I bench press. So I have to grab the weight close, lift it up, shimmy my hands to where I want to go, do my bench press, save enough left in the tank to shimmy my hands back to re-rack it. So I'm never going to max out on this bench press. Like I've had it up to 225, but I've never gone to failure on this thing. All right. I really don't do push-ups very much. I should, and I have in the past. But I'm not training like I normally do. I like lifting heavy weights, and without access to a gym, I'm just not able to lift as heavy. My bread and butter, I love the cables. And well, push-ups are great. But I've just been away from them for a while. Then there's some variations of whoops, oh, almost dropped my camera. Let's try to get that a little bit more stable. I remember when I was training to do the human flag, I wanted to teach myself how to do the human flag where you grab a bar and you hold yourself horizontal. I did a lot of handstand push-ups, and then I buggered up my wrists, and then I couldn't do push-ups for about a year. It was like my wrists just weren't comfortable doing push-ups, and that's when I stopped doing push-ups. Is just I took a break, and then everything was like bench, everything was pushing like barbells and heavy weights, and but then there's you can take your hands out and then do some like show up a little bit. You keep moving your hands further and further away. What else do I got here? I know I got some ab wheels. This is something I used to use a lot, but I haven't in a while. I used to very easily be able to like go standing up, and then I can't do it now. 2018, I herniated my disc and I tore my glute, and I've recovered, but my lower back is just weak. It's hard, like once I, like in comparison, right? So out here I'm strong, but once I start going further, it's just hard to really control and flex my lower back so I can stabilize. I wouldn't say pull-ups are better than push-ups, but, oh, thanks for the follow. I've got a couple here, but most people, when they're training, do too much pushing exercise and not enough pulling exercise, and that will like throw out your whole posture. When you're pushing, the shoulders come in, and you'll get more closed. The body needs to know it can open up, as well as when these things are contracting and they're pulling your whole body forward. You need the muscles to counterbalance them to pull yourself back. Keep your shoulders in the right spot. I remember when the pandemic first hit, I was at home. I did a lot of calisthenics, and there's a Bring Sally Up challenge where it goes bring Sally up, bring Sally down, bring Sally up, bring Sally down for the whole song. And try to, every time it says bring Sally up, you do a push-up. Every time it says bring Sally down, you let yourself down, but you don't let your chest touch the ground. You actually hold yourself and then bring Sally up, bring Sally down. And it's like 3.5 minutes of torture. I got within like 20 seconds of doing it, but it's hard. Oh, thanks. Form is important to me. And then even a lot of exercises that I might not necessarily be familiar with or have really done before. A lot of the fundamental rules stay the same, like neutral spine, protect your back. It's protecting your joints. Don't let the weight, don't grind your joints as you're lifting. I think my camera. Yeah, that's rough. I try doing it for the, you can do the same thing for a pull-up challenge. Bring Sally up, bring Sally down, bring Sally up. Pull-ups are a lot harder. And the only way you actually have a chance to complete it is if you're light enough. I think my camera went all blurry. Normally when my camera goes blurry, I'll make faces at it until it goes away. But if you're light enough that you can hang comfortably with one hand and then shake one arm out, do a pull-up. Shake one arm out, shake one arm out, do a pull-up. Oh yeah. Well, you can get a burn on your triceps with push-ups that you can't get any other way. Like you get that tingling, and then afterwards your arms are actually numb. Like it can be a really great exercise. Yeah. For me, it was always like I had more trouble with the holding part. Like when I'm pushed, I'm like even when I'm tired, I can push, and even without and you'll see a lot of people who do it. They'll cheat by they'll get tired and they'll bring their butt out and then they'll bring their chest away from their arms just to because they're fatigued, right? So like they don't actually have enough power to push enough, so they're using their body to get away from their hands. But I never had trouble with the pushing. It was always the holding part that would that's like I worked on my tricep. I like this motion, but I've done this. Why am I putting myself through this torture and just holding myself here after I've done that? That's all right. So let's do some. Yeah. Yeah, I did some crazy stuff the first time lockdown hit, just because I was bored. I started going for lunge. I started going for walks, but instead of walking, I would lunge. I would lunge for a kilometer. I got myself up to 1.5 kilometers of just nothing but lunges. And then when that got too easy, I would lunge. I do my lunge. I come up and I bring my knee up. And I do that, and I go for, and I'd have a 25 or 40-pound weight vest on while I was doing it. And like at that point, you're not even getting hypertrophy anymore, but like you're not like it's inefficient. But I was bored, and I wanted to challenge myself just to see how far I could go. Yeah. Yeah, your body really gets conditioned for whatever activities you put yourself under. Like myself, I'm really good at pull-ups, but like any activity that you go to with is push-ups, you're gonna get better push-ups, and that's the same for cardio. Where if someone recommends what cardio to do, for me, I'd recommend do the one that you enjoy the most, and then get as good at it as you can. Like for me, it's the stationary bike. And as you get more used to it, you'll be able to go a little bit, add the resistance, and the whole thing just gets easier. But as it gets easier, you burn more calories, not less. Calories is almost like just wattage, how much wattage your body is outputting. So you become a better butter burner, you get just really good at burning calories if you stick to one cardio and just condition your body for it. Yeah, a lot of people, the hardest part is just engaging, right? Like you go from a hang and getting that the shoulder, the lat, right? So I'm engaging, and then it's almost like it almost starts like a row, and then turns into a chin up. So it's like you're rowing, chin up. And then you can take your hand this side or this side. One technique is to bring your other shoulder to your hand. But for myself, I've spent years developing the smaller muscles around my shoulders, so I've got really strong shoulders. And so the part that's hard for most people is just engaging and doing and then holding yourself and then pulling while stabilizing and protecting the shoulder. That's the hardest part. So like if you grab your shoulder or grab your hand, assist, you already get to here, and then it's just a chin up. One nice like intermediate step on the way to getting one arm pull-ups is you go wide and pull up to the bar to the side. And this arm will be doing most of the work, but the other arm doesn't do nothing. The other arm gives as much resistance, puts as much into the exercise as you need, and then you focus more on, and then as you get stronger, you'll be going more and more with one arm using less of the assisted arm. All right, so I'm gonna do one more set of the fat grips, then skull crushers, then lat pullovers, and then I'm probably gonna spend 45 minutes stretching. I have a stretch routine I go through that typically takes me 45 minutes to an hour. It's bloody hot in here though. It's sapping my energy. Yeah. Yeah, for every hour I've worked out, I've spent probably 2 hours researching stuff and just listening to people and reading scientific studies and like anything I can get my hands on. The one avenue in fitness that I'm actually sorely lacking in both my ability and my knowledge is actually posing. I've never actually had much interest in posing. It wasn't until I started streaming and I'm constantly seeing myself in the camera, and I'm not at the gym where you see guys posing in the mirror in the gym and people looking at them and right. So I never want to be that guy. But even I got you guys here, but still I got my place myself. I can after each stream, I go back, I look at my form and pick up different things that maybe I could have done this. I also look at my streams because I'll watch my body develop, and and you can actually physically see the changes over time. At least I can. And to do that, you want to and posing helps. But for me, I know all these things, but I don't even know the names of the poses. Right? So somebody's posing. I understand some of the concepts that are behind them, like when you're flaring out your lats, you get that people are actually squeezing their stomachs in. You want wide back, thin waist. That's what gives you the dimensions. And then I think it's something like if you're going back, you actually get above and lean backwards. And then, but I don't know if I'm doing it right. I just, if I feel it, I'll squeeze it. So if I want my back, I'll. One thing I need to focus on, or one thing I should focus on, is getting a vacuum. I've got a very poor vacuum right now, and I used to focus on the one aspect of posing I actually used to focus on was a vacuum. I used to just let my muscles know that, you know, it's not always pushing out. They're actually able to suck everything in, right? Yeah, this is, I've worked on it, and I've gone through several phases where I went from 4 years to hit my absolute peak. I was 225 pounds with an 8-pack, and I have two more abs, but they're buried under some fat. So I have to get down to 5 to 7% body fat to see the last two, and as well as I actually have to work them. I actually have to train them a lot just to get them to pop a little bit because they're not as well defined. But I have no interest in doing ab workouts anymore. I got so sick of ab work. Like, I used to train every day. I'd get home, have my protein shake, relax for a bit, and then I would do a 15-minute ab workout, shower, go to bed. I did that, and I would 15-minute ab workout, shower, go to bed. I did that every day for years, and I got the results from it, but I got absolutely sick of crunches. Like, absolutely sick of crunches, absolutely sick of heel touches. I it's like when you eat the same food every day. It's just sickening. And then, so 4 years it took me to get to my peak fitness, and I was a maniac. I was like driven in a way that very few can ever get driven or ever will. And then I got Lyme disease, an autoimmune disease, and I was pushing for so hard for so long, and then I crashed. I had no idea what was wrong with me. I lost most of my muscle. I went right back to like square one, but then I started building myself up again, and I started from scratch, and I was trying new things, and I built myself up a little bit different. If I had a choice, I would be a back with legs. I want like a big back and big legs. I don't care about my biceps. I like looking at the triceps a little bit, but back and legs. I don't care about my traps. Um, but then 2018, I hurt it in my disc. I tore my glute, and my legs shriveled up. And they've never fully recovered in size and definition. My legs are strong again. I have all my strength. I'm squatting 315 for sets of 10, and I was doing like heavy leg presses. I went to the gym. I was doing 820-pound assisted squats, but I don't have the size. I don't have the definition that I used to, and I'm a little bit self-conscious about that. But it is what it is, and I know the amount of effort I need to put in to get them back, and I'm looking at like a year, like easy a year to get anywhere where I want to be with my legs. All right, next set. Okay, so I'm gonna pump this set up real quick. I don't have the weight set up for the skull crusher. So I'll have to set that up. Yeah, these fat grips make the exercise so much harder. Like, less weight feels a lot heavier than it is. These are only 30-pound dumbbells, I think. 10, no, 35, I don't know. No, 30-pound dumbbells. after you're done, you can't close your hands. Whew, that's great. Yeah, I don't actually think I was burnt out. I think like the worst thing about Lyme disease was I've had nothing in my entire life kick me in the butt as hard as that, to the point where I could have slept 23 hours a day. I would go to work, I'd come back home, I'd go straight to sleep, wake up, go right back to work, not having any idea what's wrong with me. And I was just trying to stay awake enough at work not to get fired. Because at the time, I was like overseeing a project that was a $2 billion project that ended up turning into like a $3 or $4 billion project. And I was inspecting all the steel that went into this project, all the reinforcing steel. And it's something that like it's my livelihood if I screw up. But once I got diagnosed, I very quickly recovered. I was cured. Not everybody gets cured. Doctors don't even really know why. But then I was right back to it. And as soon as I like, even when I was tired, I was still trying to work out, but I was just fighting a losing battle. I was still driven to work out. I just couldn't keep my eyes open. And then got recovered, went right back into it. All right. I said I was going to do skull crushers. Let's do skull crushers. But I feel like dancing first. My mouse isn't plugged in. All right, that was fun. Oh. Oh. Good times. Start with like 75. I'm bloody hot. I have my fan here, but it's not even turned on. Oh, that's so much better. All right. Oh, I guess with my eyeball. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'll continue my streaming workouts at the new place. It's gonna be like right now I'm in a wing it kind of phase. I'm just so hot right now. I'm a like a natural. I don't know. I'm a natural heater. I remember dancing with people till like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when it starts getting a little bit chilly, and then so my partner would start to get cold, and I'm still giving off so much heat that I made a good cuddle buddy. All right, so I'll do one more set of skull crushes at this weight. Then I'm gonna jump up. I'll add on like another 40 pounds, or maybe 50 pounds, and do another 2 sets. Maybe my pull downs. Oh. All right, let's add some weight. Oh. Yeah, I gotta remember to follow the guy who rated me. I think his name was Tanks. Um, I'll remember. All right. All right. Going from 75. I'm trying to switch it out here. I got 115 pounds. I'll do. Yeah. Now that the chat sort of died down a bit, it's got me more in a stretching type of mood. I've always, like for me, the lifting part has always been more social because I'll go to the gym and I'll work out with people and just having people around. Whereas when I was stretching, well, like how I've done in the past has been more solitary, just like more quiet, more focused on the breathing and internalizing all the thoughts. All right. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. All right. Well, I had planned to do the pull overs. I don't know if I'm in the mood for that anymore, though. I think I'm going to put my weights away, and then I'll start to stretch. It's actually been a while since I've stretched on stream. I've been told by some of my regular viewers that not enough people, like men in particular, take the time to stretch on stream. And I can definitely agree with that. It's for me though, often it's not worth it to turn my stretching into this big thing. I'll just do it when I can, get it out of the way, and then sometimes just go right to bed after. I'm gonna have to set up the system, like my camera somewhere else. Ooh, excuse me. That's not putting everything back. got a bunch of viewers now. I just finished some skull crushers. I was getting ready to, oh, there's my camera. I was getting ready to start stretching. I'm going to have to set up. I'm going to move my camera. I'm feeling good though. Unplug this. How is everybody tonight? I've had my music going. I'm going to have to switch out my music for my stretching view here. So I have desktop audio, and now I have two videos that I follow along with, but I also go off the script quite often because it really bothers me when somebody will do a video and they'll do like, okay, stretch this side, and I'll count to 10, and then okay, now stretch the other side, and they'll only do the 8. All right, so this, let's shrink you. I don't have my mouse, and let's make that disappear. Okay, so the desktop, it's not quite working just yet. We'll get it. You can stop talking, and then desktop, I'm gonna have to play around with my settings. It never works the way I want it to do. So I will click this and remove. And then I will add a new source. Audio in, no. Okay, no. Audio output, desktop audio. And then let's see if this works. It didn't. All right. It's not technical difficulty, because technical difficulties, guys. I want to stretch when I'm all relaxed, but this is stressing me out.
Just let it dangle. Every time you breathe, your muscles get more relaxed.
All right.
And finally, we'll just hang our head back. Maybe shake it a little bit side to side.
All right, so I think this is working now.
Take one roll. And then to the other side.
All right.
Then we'll roll our shoulders
I'm gonna
back.
bring my phone out too, so I can read
and forward.
Any chat that comes along.
Back and forward. Then I'll step my feet out to be a little bit more than hip width apart.
Yeah.
And we'll plie, bend the knees to reach up and breathe.
I'm going to set it up,
and then come back down.
Working on myself.
To reach up and breathe. I'm gonna do this a few times. And what we're doing here is really stretching out the whole body and letting it warm up, getting all the muscles moving before we start stretching.
Hey, how's it going? I'm going to be doing a stretching stream right now. I don't think
it's Nico, and
done one since you come around.
Complete beginner's flexibility routine. If you're someone who feels that flexibility is one of your weakest suits, this video is for you. So we're going to start standing on the mat, and I'm going to bring my right arm up and just place it over the other side of my head and just let gravity pull me down. This is something that you always want to keep in your mind while you're stretching, is to just let gravity do all of the work. You're not necessarily pushing yourself into anything because that can cause pain. Just letting your neck fall, using the weight of your right arm to pull on your neck. And then we'll switch to the other side. Again, you don't want to be pulling down on your neck because that could hurt you.
There's
just rest
2
it
videos
there.
I follow along with.
Then we'll wrap both arms behind our head to go forward. Just let it dangle. Every time you breathe, your muscles get more relaxed.
I started doing this when I hurt my back.
And finally, we'll just hang our head back. Maybe shake it a little bit side to side. And now we'll take one roll. And then to the other side. Then we'll roll our shoulders back. And forward.
You don't want to be too sore, but
and forward.
As long as you're not, as long as you're enjoying it, right? You can.
Then I'll step my feet out to be a little bit more than hip width apart, and we'll plie or bend the knees
as long as,
to reach
like,
up.
As long as you're still coming back, right?
And then come back down to reach up.
And some soreness is to be expected when you start.
I'm going to do this a few times.
As
And
you
what we're doing
body,
here is really stretching out the whole body and letting it warm up, getting all the muscles moving before we start stretching. And this is something that you should always, always do before you stretch. You don't want to just start pushing your body into something it's not ready for. If your muscles are warm, you're going to find that the flexibility comes much easier. Awesome job, guys.
Yeah, that's the key.
Great. So for this next stretch, I'm going to grab this stool behind me, but you can grab anything in your house that's about that height. A desk, a table, or a chair.
I'm wearing my stretchy jeans.
So if you need to grab that, go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to come and place my feet more than hip width apart. And then we're going to lean forward to rest our hands on this stool. And this is just to make getting into this stretch a lot easier. You really want to make progress here and make sure that you're not putting too much pressure on your hands, but it's there to keep it from being too painful. So let's hold here.
What workout did you do yesterday?
Make sure you're breathing, sending oxygen to your hamstrings while you stretch them.
Was it like calisthenics at home? Did you
and try as hard as you can to relax, because the more relaxed your muscles are, the more flexible they will be. And then I will come up and we'll move it a little bit to the side so that it makes a line with my leg, and then I'll come to the side. In this position, I want to make sure my hips are even and I'm not letting one be higher than the other. And again, I'm breathing.
Yeah, if you're sore, I'm not sure really what you trained, but
and then we'll come back
going
up.
for walks
and
helps
move it
with
to the other side.
a lot of recovery.
And you can also be moving your body instead of the stool or chair or whatever you're using.
And it's never, if you did it yesterday, It's
Remember to
typically
breathe.
2 days after that you get the most delayed onset muscle soreness that'll kick in.
And back up. And just one more time for good measure, we're going to come
And
back to the center.
what I would recommend,
So I'm going to come down on my elbows here to give myself a little bit
get
of an
some blood
extra
pumping
stretch,
through your
but
body.
I only recommend doing this if you're
I
able
like
to
the
keep your
stationary
back
bike.
flat while doing
Go
so.
light
And
just
by that
cycle
I
the
mean
legs.
it's engaged, your shoulder blades are tucked
That's what I
down,
do. I just pump some
pulling
blood in my
towards your
legs.
lower back.
And if I do
and
that,
you
that's the
letting
difference
it
between
arch up like
being
this,
sore and not being sore a
just
couple
keeping
days
it
later.
nice and flat, should be parallel to the ground. And if you aren't able to do that here,
You don't want to
come
like
back
do a
up
you don't want
onto
to do
your
legs
hands.
and then not use your legs for 2 days because and then let yourself stiffen up.
And then
Is
we'll
that-
come
that'll-
back up to
that's what'll
stand.
happen
So
is,
for this next stretch, we're going to
if
be
you do a
sitting
leg
on the
day,
ground. So I'm going to
And
move
then the
this
next
stool
day
out
your
of our
body's
way.
like, okay, that was different, that was hard.
I'm going to sit back on the edge of my mat
If you just let it sit, your
and
body's going to
extend my legs
stiffen
out
up.
to either
And
side.
2 days later,
Now in a full straddle stretch,
you're gonna feel
your
it.
legs will be straight, but in our modified version, we'll have our legs bent here,
Yeah,
lifting our
they're
knees up
stretchy.
off of the ground. And from here, you'll just go as far forward as you can. Now, I encourage you to place your hands
so this woman's leaving me
a foot,
leaving me
maybe
behind
2
right
feet
now.
in front of your hips. And from here, you want to slowly try and straighten
I'm
your
gonna have
legs,
to-
bringing your knees to touch the ground. Arch up like this, just keeping it nice and flat. In modified version, I'm going to sit back on the edge of my mat, come back up to stand.
All right.
So for this next stretch, we're going to be sitting on the ground. So I'm going to move this stool out of our way. I'm going to sit back on the edge of my mat and extend my legs out to either side. Now in a full straddle stretch, your legs will be straight, but in our modified version, we'll have our legs bent here, lifting our knees
I'm
up
reading
off
the
of the
chat
ground.
off this stuff here.
And from here,
How are
you'll
you
just
doing
go as
tonight,
far
Lisa?
forward as you can. Now, I encourage you to place your hands a foot, maybe 2 feet in front of your hips. And from here, you want to slowly try and straighten your legs,
I'm so
bringing
hot.
your knees to touch the ground. So that's what you're fighting for, and you just want to hold. So straddle stretch is a great stretch to be able to see your own progress in. I encourage you to pay attention to the floor if you're stretching in the same place every day, so you'll start to see your hands move along, and it's really encouraging.
I'm very hot though.
So while you're pulling to get into these stretches a little bit deeper, you always want to make sure you're pulling from the right place. And
I like
the
using
common thing
this
to
desk
do is pull the top of your head
really
down
push
to
on
try and pull yourself
this-
closer
to
to the ground, but
really
you
separate my
actually
legs
want to
sometimes.
pull your chest
I'm
closer.
using this
And that's
bench.
going to keep your back lifted and your shoulder blades pinched together like
Just
the
to get a
flat
little
back I was
extra.
talking about earlier, so you're able to reach out and really
And so
go
this
to the
stretch, I'm
fullest
actually
extent
keep my
of your
knees
stretch.
up for now.
So for now, make sure you're pulling your chest out and think about trying to get that pulled down all the way to the ground. Okay, so now we're going to stretch each side. And in a normal straddle stretch, we could stay here and then fold over to each side. But to make it a bit easier, we bring our opposite leg in and then go over. So you want to grab onto your leg and pull your chest closer as you stretch. And you want to make sure you're keeping that back flat. You will be able to reach farther if you arch, but you're losing all of that nice stretch in the back of your leg, all through your hamstring if you do so. So fight for that flat back and try and get that chest to your knee. And now we'll go to the other side. So we'll switch, bring our other leg into our thigh, and then fold over. I'm pulling my chest to my knee, stretching out that hamstring. Trying to keep your back as flat as you can. And come back up and to the center. Let's do the middle stretch one more time. So we'll bend our knees and come forward. Maybe notice that you've made a little bit of an improvement, a centimeter or two. Each time you do it, you should feel a little bit more comfortable. And fight to lower your knees a little bit. Keeping that back flat. If few more seconds. Really lower down as far as you can. And come out of it. Amazing. So now we're going to bring our feet into the middle for a butterfly stretch. And here I'm just going to sit
it's good to hear.
And hold my ankles and push my knees down with my elbow. You should be feeling a nice stretch either in your
the start to a long and enjoyable
or, glutes, or maybe both, depending on where you need to be more flexible. And we're going to fold over, and in this stretch it's okay if you let your head go and you arch your back. It's one of the few. Really pulling yourself down. And now we're going to do the opposite and try and stretch out and keep that back as flat as we can. Pushing that chest out, really stretching out those hips. And come back up. So the next thing that we're going to do is going to be a pike stretch, and I'm going to move sideways for this so you can see me better. So the key to doing this is having your hips all the way underneath your body and your back up straight behind you.
Check out the gym first before you go.
If you're unable to sit up straight, then you want to keep your butt above your feet. And there are a couple different ways that you can do this. The easiest way, using only your body, is to actually come up onto one knee and extend the other one in front of you so that you can start to lean forward. That'll make it a lot easier. You just have to make sure that you do it on both sides. You can also be in a pike with either a low chair or maybe a few towels stacked underneath you so that you're lifted above your feet. So for now, I'm going to stay seated here on the mat, but if you need to go and grab a chair or something else to sit on, go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to lean forward, grabbing as far down on my legs as I can. And if you are here and you're sitting up super straight and it's already stretching the backs of your hamstrings, that is absolutely great. I encourage you to stay here and keep fighting for it.
The gym I've gone to is the university gym.
If you chose to sit here without any other props assisting you, also make sure that you're not pushing yourself too hard. Maybe you can do it, but you might find that you're able to make more progress in a stretch that's slightly more comfortable. So just make the decision that's best for you. The other thing you'll find is that it's easier whenever your toes are pointed. So if you flex, you'll get a deeper stretch coming all the way up to the tops of the hamstrings. And then we'll come out of it. Awesome job, guys. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to scooch forward a little bit so I can lay down on my back here.
I'm not ready for her to move on. I'm going to do my own. She does, like this woman, for her stretches, she does a lot of stretching where you're folding forward, and if you do too much folding forward, you can aggravate the back a little bit. So I'm just letting my discs and everything know that they can go the other way too. Yeah, give it a try. Just the environment for the gym really pumps me up. It's just, I started working out at home, and when I did, I was perfectly happy to do so. But once I started going to the gym, I could never go back to my home workouts anymore. All right, now I'm going to continue with the video.
Up, and you can grab it as low as you need to. The other thing that you could do here is grab a belt or a scarf or an actual exercise band, wrap around your heel and then pull your leg closer. But holding lower down on your leg is just fine too. And as you're practicing this stretch, you want to make sure that you're always reaching and trying to walk your hands up and get them all the way up here. This really is the goal of this stretch, but for now, it's fine to grab it down here. And then I'm going to bend my knee in, pull it to my chest, and bring it over my body to come to a twist.
Who knows when everything will start opening up again.
Really feeling it all through the spine. And come back. And we'll straighten again. Always pulling it closer to you. Feeling that stretch in the hamstring. And one more time, pulling it to your chest. And then over.
Let's try to pop my back.
Every time you breathe, relax your spine a bit more. And then we'll come back to center. And switch, bring the other leg up, grab as high up as you can and pull it closer to you. Making sure that top leg is all the way straight.
This one's not as flexible right now. This one's a lot stiffer.
And then bending it in. To pull across your body. Turn your head to face the other way. And
I'm trying to pop my back, it's not giving.
Releasing your spine, letting it fully twist. And we'll come back to center and do it all one more time. So stretch the leg out straight, grab as high as you can, and then pull. Really breathing. And bring it back in. Pull tight to your chest. And then we'll pull it back over to look the other way. Remember to relax into it. And then we'll come back to center.
All right. So
and
now
put our leg down.
I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to pause the video.
Okay. So now we're going to come back up.
All right, let me read this here. Yeah, I got vaccinated on Friday, and then I was a little bit sick after. But the main issue is now I gotta wait like 5, maybe 6 months to get my second shot. So I got my yoga strap. This here is amazing for the calves, right? When I'm doing this, if I'm pointing my toe up, I'm stretching more my hamstring. If I let my toe come back, I'm always trying to point my toes at my face. You get a really, really strong calf stretch doing this. September. Yeah, they didn't even tell me. They didn't even tell me when to expect the next one. That's but being a I'm not necessarily at risk, so they're more worried about people who are. Which vaccine did you get? I haven't been stretching enough lately. Yeah, I also get the Pfizer. I got a side effect I never heard anyone else get. About an hour after I had the shot, it felt like I was having a heart attack. My chest tightened up, and it was a little bit strenuous to breathe, but it went away after like an hour or two. Oh, oops. Yeah, why? I had about 2 months ago. I injured myself at work. I thought I pulled my groin, but in actuality, I hurt my SI joint, and I hurt my hip socket, and I haven't been stretching since. What happened is I took a break from stretching while I let myself heal up, but then like 1 week turned into 2 weeks, turned into 3 weeks, turned into 2 months, and I just haven't been stretching enough. So I'm finding I'm very tight right now. Yeah, I actually enjoyed how my shoulder was sore. I was playing around with it, right? It was actually the delt. So that it was actually the muscle, right? They shoot into the muscle, and it's actually the muscle that's sore. And so like while your arms are down here, you're fine. As soon as you actually start to flex your shoulder, suddenly the muscle is just like, oh my God, don't touch me. Like leave me alone, bro. And I was playing around with that. Like I was just like seeing how much I could. Yeah, I see. For me, even like bad experiences to me are still experiences, and I I like life. You only get to live it once, and if it's something like a sore shoulder because you get a vaccine shot, right? You know it's going to go away after. It's when it comes down to the chronic pains. The chronic pains are what wears anybody down. Chronic chronic pain is brutal. People who live in chronic pain, it wears them down in so many different assets or facets of their life. Anyways, let me say your name here. XX in the zone XX. I gotta make a point of saying everybody's name more often. I wanna remember people who join me a second time. Yeah, there's a lot about streaming that I never thought about, but that I actually really enjoy. Like it's nice having some regular viewers who always drop by and say hi. Damn, bench is in the way. Still in the way. I'll push it. There we go. All right, I'm gonna stretch my glutes out, then I'm gonna go back to that video. So the one I'm gonna focus on right now, I'm just gonna push down here and I'm gonna lean forward. This is actually as much hip flex as anything else. Yeah, there's a lot of different avenues you can go down. You can turn like with one dumbbell, one kettlebell, you can do more. You can focus on some explosive exercises. You can focus on some more like performance type exercises where you're going through different movements. There's one exercise, I can't remember the name of it, but it's where you have a kettlebell and you're on the ground, and then you essentially get up with one arm and holding the kettlebell above your head. And that one there just builds a lot of strength. You just become strong. Like your whole body gets strong. I can't even, it's got a funny name. I can't even remember the name of it though. Yeah. And sometimes for that, it's just getting it above your shoulders. That's the hardest part. And for that, you might want to use momentum to get it up, and then or like almost snatch it up, like throw it up, and then once it's up, just control it and then push. It's just protect your joints. Don't throw at your lower back trying to get the weight above your head. Oh, that felt good. Saskatoon. I'm from Winnipeg. I've gone to Saskatoon for dancing, and we get a lot of people from Saskatoon come to Winnipeg to dance. But other than that, I haven't been to Saskatoon from when I was a kid. I grew up in a small town 500 kilometers northwest of here, where Saskatoon was probably just as close to where I grew up as Winnipeg was. All right, so that's my glutes. Now I'm going to go back to my video. I have this woman talking to me.
To a standing position, and I'm going to bring one foot up to grab it behind me.
Oh.
During this quad stretch, I want to make sure that I'm pushing my hips forward so I'm getting that full. Bring one and put our leg down. Okay, so now we're going to come back up to a standing position, and I'm going to bring one foot up to grab it behind me. During this quad stretch, I want to make sure that I'm pushing my hips forward so I'm getting that full stretch all along my quad and into my hip flexor.
Like you look, when you turn
while
your
you're
head,
here, I want to take a minute to tell you that you should always be working every single day, stretching and working towards that flexibility. But you also have to remember that your progress is not going to be linear. You're not going to be making constant, amazing results every single day. Some weeks you'll do great, and others you won't see much progress, but remember not to get discouraged, that the more that you're fighting for it and working towards that flexibility, you will get there. So let's switch to the other side. Really feeling that stretch all on that quad and in that hip flexor, pushing my hips forward.
If it's pushing up.
Bringing my heel to touch my butt behind me.
One good thing about getting the plates and the bar or the dumbbell
hip flexors are always really tight while we're sitting at work and sitting anywhere in the car. Our natural seated position actually allows them to contract a lot, so it's really great to stretch them out. And then we'll come out. And for that position too, if you're having trouble balancing, go ahead and grab onto a wall or a chair next to you. So lastly, we're going to stretch our arms. So I'm going to bring my right one across my body and pull it in with my left. Really allowing this shoulder to relax here so that I can get a full stretch. My left arm is the only one working. And then swing it out. For the other side. My straight arm is relaxed. Really letting the other one stretch it out. And then we'll shake it out again. Do the tricep on this side.
So I'm only about
you really want to try and pull your
60% done
hand
my
to your
stretching.
shoulder in the arm that's stretching. Don't let it hang out up here. And then shake it out.
I have workout
And
brain
other
right
side.
now. When you, after like some heavy workout sets, sometimes your brain gets a little bit sluggish.
Awesome job, guys. So that's all I
I
have
was
for you
showing
today.
off earlier.
I really hope
Somebody
that this
rated
video
me.
helped you.
So
Please
I
let
did
me
one
know in
arm
the
pull-ups,
comments what worked,
and then right after
and
I
if
did
there's
2 1-arm
any other
pull-ups,
areas that you
and
would
then I
like me
did
to
a set of
focus on.
25 pull-ups right
I'll see
after
you guys
without a
in the next
break.
video. Bye.
And I've had workout brain ever since. All right, so that was one video. Now, let me think. I stretched my glutes. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this next video, and then I'll probably stop the stream then, but then I will do my long static stretches. Like I think tonight I'm going to stick my feet up the wall. One of like I could literally fall asleep with my feet up the wall. It's one of the it becomes like at the starts you get a little bit tingly, but you get very like it gets very comfortable and very relaxing to just stick the feet up the wall. I could fall asleep like this. Or what I'll do is I'll take my legs out to the side. Oh. And normally I have a broom handle that will actually push my legs out. Like I'll push this leg down, I'll push that leg down, and it'll help get a little bit deeper. Oh. As well as I'll often do I'll do my glute stretches on this wall. My glutes are pretty loose right now though. Oh. This is a good one here. Alternatively, you put the leg on the wall and then push. And push this knee down. All right, on to the next stretching. Egg yolks are very high in calories. It's got its uses, right? If you're trying to put on size, it's very easy to down some egg yolks, get your calories, get your protein, and move on with your day. Whereas if you want to focus on staying lean, egg whites are king. As for hi Diane F213, I'm just wearing these because I was taking a nap earlier in these jeans, and I got up and I went straight to streaming. I couldn't be bothered to switch to shorts. That's really all it is. I figured I looked at it. I'm like, do I want to change? I'm like, I don't have to. These are stretchy jeans. They're not skinny jeans. Even though they're form fitting, but they're very stretchy. So I'm never gonna split these jeans, and so I can stretch in them. I can work out in them. They breathe well. Yeah, Okay, so for calves, there's two parts of the calf. There's one, like the calf controls ankle flexion, and one part controls ankle flexion when your legs are straight. Another part controls ankle flexion when your knees are bent, right? So what I was doing when the pandemic first hit, I would go for a walk and I'd do lunges down a pedestrian walkway. And there's one spot where there's a light pole right beside a curb, like a 6-inch concrete curb. And I would stick my weight on I stick my feet on the concrete curb, and I could get my full flexion of my ankle, and I could hold on to the pole for support. And if I wanted more weight, I'd go on one leg, right? And so you can double your weight by going on one leg. Otherwise, you can go like you can focus on slow throughout the whole thing, or you can focus on pulsing at the top. But that's all calf with the leg straight. With the leg bent, it's a little bit more difficult if you don't have access to the calf machine that goes over top of your knees. And if you like, you can. If you like, you can hit the part of the calf that works when your knees are bent in like a leg press, or even if you're doing calisthenics, where you like, the way I do it essentially needs another person, but the calf is very simple. Ankle flexion. You can change the exercise slightly by changing the angle of your feet, but ultimately that doesn't matter as much. Pick something that's comfortable. Sometimes you might just be tight and something's more comfortable for you, but you should try to switch up the angle every so often. And with calves, it just comes down to calves are a muscle that takes a lot of volume for a very small amount of actual size growth, but very important to actually have like strong calves in a lot of lifts. I had calf tightness for years, and I would get regular massages, and when they get to my calves, it would be all pain. And one exercise you do is stick your foot against something, and then just come up, and then you're stretching your calf. But this here is the king for stretching your calf. Once I started doing this regularly, I've never had tight calves again. And what you want to focus on is keeping the foot flat, as opposed to having your toe pointed. When you have your foot flat, put the rope or the band or whatever you have on your toes and try to pull your toes as much as you can. And once you come up, it will actually burn. You'll feel this burn in your calf. If you don't have a band, you can focus on just holding your leg, and you can stretch your calf just by using your own muscle to pull your toe down, and you get a really, really nice calf stretch that way. So I sort of went off on a tangent about that. And I would say, like when you said, Gubster, when you said for a beginner, it's better to focus more on compound exercises, that's like, I would recommend to be doing more compound exercises, but it's more important to actually learn the various exercises that are out there, right? So learning how to activate things properly in a safe manner, even if it's the isolation, you're just doing curls, learn how to do strict curls. Learn how to, like, when you have the rope, how to activate your tricep when you're doing tricep extensions. Like even when I would stay away from more machines per se, because machines, they can build some faulty motor patterns in your body if you're starting out. but weights have their place, but learn how to contract the muscle, learn how to do it safely. When you're doing compound lifts, learn the actual techniques first, and then focus on a program second. But compound lifts as a primary base with whatever isolation you want afterwards, that's you'll never go wrong with that. Some people have certain injuries that they have to work around. Whereas like some people have injured their shoulder, maybe in a car accident, or they've they played football or baseball, or they have a repetitive movement injuries from work, and it just might not be comfortable to do incline bench press, and so they might have to take incline bench press out of their training program and train those muscle groups through another two activities together. All right, so what do I do for my work desk job? I'm an engineer, but at my job, we adopt our projects. And more specifically, I'm a geotechnical engineer, and that's structural. You'll think of a structural engineer who designs buildings and bridges. Well, a geotechnical engineer makes sure that the underlying soils can support those structures. But for myself, I'll adopt a job. So I typically, up until recently, I would get my job, I'd set everything up, go in the field, collect all the data, bring the data back to the office, do the reports, do the analysis, do the drafting, do the soil logs, put everything together, send it off. And adopt the project start to finish. I'd be involved in essentially every part. But 2018, I herniated my disc and I tore my glute. And since then, I've been spending more time in the office. I used to go, sometimes I would get sent out to the middle of the bush, and I am a glorified problem solver. I'd be sent out there with minimal direction, and it's just like, they have a problem, go out there, figure it out, solve their problem for them. And so sometimes I would be physical for like 15-hour days out from like sun up to sundown, and that's actually how I injured myself. That's how I herniated my disc. I ended up basically crawling 15 kilometers out of a bush. I was walking 15 kilometers each way, carrying 130 pounds of equipment out of reserve, where the only way in was to fly in a one-passenger plane. But ever since then, I've been primarily in the office, just typing away, and it's mind-numbing. I hate it. I like the variety rather than spending all my time focusing on one task. I'm seeing a message on here that's not. Oh, it's the chat is is a different color on my phone as opposed to on the computer, but there's still like this winter. What happened is I spent a lot of time on riverbanks, walking up and down riverbanks all throughout the winter, because one of my coworkers left the company, and I took over a bunch of his jobs, which was riverbank stabilization. So I was inspecting, I was surveying, I was nonstop all throughout the winter, going up and down riverbanks, and then coming back to the office and spending like 3 days in front of the computer, then going back to the riverbanks, going up and down. It was fun while it lasted. But I'm going to start my next stretching video here. This one here is a splits video. And I'm going to skip.
New videos every... Alright, and for our second stretch, we're going to do the half split. So what you're going to do is extend your right foot forward, and then your back leg bent. And then we're going to go ahead and reach to the side and then take it forward to target two different muscles in our hamstring, starting with the outside and then into the under hamstring. Right. So take your left arm and reach all the way over until you're getting close to your toe. You should feel a deep stretch in your hamstring and also underneath your armpit. And then go ahead and take it forward. It's okay if you can't go all the way down, but go as close to your leg as you can. Then we're gonna go to the side again. So reach all the way over past your toe. Feel that deep stretch. And then we're facing our knee again.
And then we're gonna do one more of those. So over to the side. And then put your stomach on your leg again. And just sit there for about 5 seconds or so. And now we're gonna put our chest towards the center. So this is probably gonna be a deeper stretch for most of you. So put your elbows all the way down to the ground. And if you're feeling a little bit ambitious, put it even further down. And reach as far forward as you can. And hold it for about 5 seconds. And then we're gonna elbow our way back up to the top. And we're gonna take what's gonna stretch in your quadricep a little bit. So go back. And if you can't go all the way down flat on your back, just stay here on your elbows. And I'm gonna do a little bit more of an advanced version and go further down for a further stretch like this. Just follow along with Karina if you're feeling like this is too much of a stretch. Now I'm gonna go back to my elbows. You should feel this in your hip flexor as well. So by stretching all these muscles in our hips and our quadricep area, it's gonna help increase our flexibility in our hamstrings as well. Now I'm gonna walk all the way back up and go forward one more time. And just hold it there for 5 seconds. And then we're gonna walk back, go down on our elbows again. And just like before, stay on your elbows, and if you're feeling like you want a little bit more of a stretch, then go all the way flat on your back. And I'm gonna walk up and do the left side now. Which, it's okay if this one's a little bit less flexible. It is for most people, so you might feel a little bit more of a stretch. So we're gonna go all the way over to the side again.
Moving on without me.
Reach towards your toes.
I can't move that quick.
And again, you're gonna go walk up and do the left side now. Which, it's okay.
All right.
And I'm gonna walk up and do the left side now. Which, it's okay if this one's a little bit less flexible. It is for most people, so you might feel a little bit more of a stretch. So we're gonna go all the way over to the side again and reach towards your toes. And again, you should feel it all the way through your armpit and down the side of your body. And then we're gonna put our chest on our knees again. And go again to the side. And then again back down to our knee. And one more time. All the way over to the side. Reach past your toes. Then face down on your knee again. Alright, now we're going to do our stretch where we're going to go forward down to the ground. Just go as far as you can. Don't push it too much if it's hurting. And you should feel this in your inner thigh as well. Then hold it for a few more seconds. And then walk your way back up and go all the way back around. And either go on your elbows, or if you want more of a stretch again, go all the way down. And hold it there for about 5 seconds. Now I'm gonna walk back up and go forward again.
I'm not gonna go forward far. I'm just gonna sit here.
And reach with your fingers all the way forward if you want a deeper stretch. And walk back up. And elbows towards the ground again. Or your back. And now I'm gonna walk back up my last time. Alright, and so for my next position, I'm going to go ahead and get into a lunge position. Okay. So go ahead and take your left foot and plant it into the ground and extend your back leg out behind you. And you should get into this position. And we're going to hold this for a few seconds. You should feel a stretch in your left hamstring as well as your right hip flexor. And the further you push your hip down, the more of a stretch you're going to feel in both areas. And then go ahead and rock back and forth a little for a deeper stretch. And then I'm going to go ahead and go up. And you're going to feel this in your right hamstring the farther forward you push onto your left foot. And also you're going to feel this in your left calf. And we're going to go back down. And make sure you're stretching both that hip flexor and your left hamstring. Just remember that it's important to stretch all these other muscles in order to get the full effect of this hamstring stretch.
Why?
We're going to go back up. Now we're going to rotate to the center. So just move your hips this way and stay there for a few seconds. And if you want more of a stretch, go ahead and grab your ankles and pull your head through. But no need to do this if it's too much of a stretch. And rotate your hips to the other side. And push your left ankle into the ground so you're getting a calf stretch. And then back into a lunge. And go ahead and hold this for a few seconds. And just like the other side, go ahead and make sure that you're pushing this left hip into the ground. Now go back up. And rock a little bit back and forth. Make sure you're targeting all those different areas of that back hamstring muscle. And then one more time, back down. Push that left hip way into the ground. And go back up. And hold it there for a few more seconds. Pushing as far into the ground as you can, trying to get that forehead on your right shin. And then go back to the center. And again, putting your hands on your ankles to pull your head through your legs. And if that's too much, again, no need to do that. Just go ahead and get as close to the ground as you can. Now we're going to walk our feet together. So we're in a pike position. We're going to finish off this position right here by pulling your ankles again and having your head go towards your shins. And just go ahead and hold this pike position for a few more seconds. Grab your ankles, pull yourself in. Release your neck, shake it out. And then pull your body into your chest one last time. And release.
Oh.
Alright, and so for this last position, it's going to be another form of the half splits. So we're going to start by taking our right foot in front of us. So take it out and parallel it to the mat. And bend your left knee. And we're going to start by just taking our chest and reaching it down forward in front of us to touch our near chin. And just hold it for a few seconds. This is our last position before we go into the splits. And now I'm going to get into the splits by sliding my left leg back behind me and just going down as far as I can. And Karina's going to show probably more of what you guys are looking like at this point. I've been working on this for many years in my life, so don't be discouraged if you're not that close to the ground. But by watching this video a few times a week, hopefully you'll get closer to the goal. Now we're going to rotate to the left side. And we're going to do that by bringing your knee back up to the position we started in. And just take your knee and rotate. And take your left leg out in front of you. And again, take your chest to your shin. And for a deeper stretch, you should flatten your back so you get it all the way parallel to your leg. And hold it for a few more seconds. And again, this side is probably going to be harder for a lot of you because it's not most people's best side. So, and get prepared for the splits. Go ahead and slide your right leg out behind you and go down as far as you can. So this is the goal that we have here. Again, Karina's an example of somebody who's still working on their splits, but after a few times of watching this video, you should improve a lot.
My hip flexor's not letting me go down deeper.
Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe to the Psyche Truth and favorite this video if you enjoyed the stretch.
Oh. That's it for my stretches. A little bit, yeah. Yeah. What's funny about stretching though, you know how when you stretch and you feel like tearing, blinding pain? Well, as you become more flexible, that pain doesn't go away, but how your body interprets those sensations changes. So the point where what was painful before ends up becoming pleasure at the end. Thank you, Arcanus_. Hope you enjoyed my stretching. I actually want to, what do I want to do? I'm going to warm up my wrist a little bit, and I'm going to fool around with some handstand. Yeah, thanks for the follow, and I'm going to mess around a little bit. Oh. All right, thanks for coming by. I'll be trying to stretch more in the future. I injured myself at work about 2 months ago. I did a little bit of it. I stepped in a hole and I fell, and my leg went out to the side really quick, and my SI joint and my hip socket was a little bit injured. So I took some time away from stretching, and 2 weeks turned into 3 weeks, turned into 2 months. For me, my hamstrings were painful. It was actually my hip flexor. My hip flexor is holding me back, and I can feel it. Once those things loosen up, it's literally just locked. That's what it feels like. But I had music on earlier. I don't have music on anymore. But let's take you guys back over here. And I am going to share the love right now. Send, see who's in the fitness community who's putting in some good work. Thank you everybody for joining me today. It's been a pleasure. Let's see if this woman's doing any stretching right now.
Oh, the window. Has anyone ever...
Okay. There's only one person I'm following who's online right now. She's a a pole dancer who does really good stretches, like stretching programs, and I've actually taken some advice from her to heart. I actually took pole dancing lessons for a while, and if you think the stretching hurts, pole dancing, like the weight of your body and the contact of your skin in the bar, that's painful. And for myself, I have a lot of strength that I can do things that some other people can do. Like I could do the human flag on the bar, and I could just grab and squeeze really tight. But most of it is just about having as much skin friction as you can. And when you weigh over 200 pounds, it becomes quite painful. Yeah, well, thank you. Into the Zone X. I'll be. We're in full lockdown right now, so I'll be having more home workouts. But at the same time, I'm in the process of moving, so it's a little bit busy. But I appreciate you guys coming out here, joining me on my journey to get a little bit stronger every day. Do some mandatory posing before I go. Squeeze till it hurts. Oh, you might not. She has follower only chat, but I think she's stretching right now. So to bring you from one stretching stream to another. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh my god! Another raid? What is going on today? Lord Admin, thank you so much for the raid. Holy shit. Guys, what is going on today? So, okay, I know, it's a lot of raids. This is like the third raid today? Alright. Let me, I guess y'all could just stay here and just chill. Anyways, hi raiders from Lord Admin's stream. Thank you so much for the raid again. I'm Chloe. I'm a pole dancing instructor here in Sydney. And as I was saying, I suck a lot of dick. Yeah, I'd not say that. Anyways, so let me do my combo. I know a lot of Japanese that can't speak Japanese. Really? Oh, interesting. No, I speak fluent. It's tough since we're on the opposite side of the world. Yeah, I know, it's so hard. I got my first CD recording. Oh, nice, congrats. Oh my gosh, so exciting. So much going on today. Everything I learned today was pretty exhausting. Oh, that's good. Who do you learn from, Teresa? Born in states of different countries. I was born in Japan, Tokyo, but I moved to Sydney 10 years ago. Yeah, so you need to finish your disclaimer with that comment. Oh my god. So how do you have the whole spot to yourself?
This is the studio I teach at. I'm sure your boyfriend would be happy to be classified as a lot. Well, that would be the only dick that I, you know. Mad respect for what you do though. Thank you. I don't know anyone else, but that made my heart beat fast. Why? I'm off the 2-hour workout and 1 hour stretching stream. Oh, what do you do? Wait, let me go. I need to check your stream out. Do you do like some sort of fitness stream? I need to come check your stream out, Lord Admin. Thank you so much for the raid again. I hope you have a great night. Ooh, nice. That's Daphne. Yeah, Daphne's studio. Nice. You're taking your online classes, yeah. Her exotic is amazing. You made that look easy, but I know it wasn't. I'm dying. Which have never been recorded in the world. Oh wow, nice. Are you entering a pole competition? If yes, I wish you good luck. Thank you. Yeah, I am planning to this year.
Oh, now you're gonna have to like jump down.
Yeah, I am.
Kid, do I have to save you? Damn it.
It is such an honor.
You can't use Hector as an island. No,
great.
You're gonna get cold if you're not in the water.
I can learn a lot from the on-point mods.
I have to save you by putting you in the water.
How do like teaching? Is it frustrating?
There you go.
People
It's
aren't
better.
serious, can't keep
I know.
up. That's a great question, actually. Yes, to a certain extent. But I think it depends. Like a lot of things that really frustrate me in general. It's just that like some people, like everyone comes for different purposes and everyone has different goals. So I can't really expect my students to be at this level if their goals aren't as high, if that makes sense. So I just always make sure like what their goals are and then try to match it. Because like some people just want to do it as a hobby. Some people really want to progress like further, you know. And I know that, you know, obviously like my goals are completely different to these girls. I'm obviously always striving for higher, but that doesn't mean that I should expect that from other people as well. Because everyone's different, you know. People just want to have fun. You know, maybe some people are like way more serious than others. It's really hard to gauge how serious people are. So yeah. Do you think is an ideal BMI for a pole dancer? What? What is it? What? I don't know what BMI. I must be going below 12%. Whoa. Okay, no, that's way too low. That's way too low. You are a pretty fair teacher. I can respect that. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, everyone's different, you know. When I did pole dancing, what I found hardest was just that everything hurts more when you weigh 220 pounds. I don't know pounds. Wait, what do you stream? What do you stream, Adman? I think pole dancing hurts no matter what the weight is. That is facts. Yeah. It hurts for me as well. Body mass index. Yeah. Yeah, it's painful. It is painful. Alright. Oh gosh. It was super painful for me when I first started. It's still painful for me as well. It's still very painful. Home workouts. Started streaming in order to make my workouts enjoyable. Oh,